Cape Town. Often praised for its serene and picturesque landscape, the city has a total of approximately 1.56 million tourist visits annually. It is also the host of South Africa's most notable tertiary institutions, UCT, CPUT, UWC, and Stellenbosch University. These institutions are often highly ranked for their academic excellence. But how would these universities rank on campus safety? In order to seek answers to this question, Student Safety SA spoke to the heads of security at these institutions. A checklist was compiled with the assistance of security researcher Professor Pamela Wilcox from the University of Cincinnati to assess the safety mechanisms at universities. Checklist variables include safety route patrolled by CPS, working panic buttons in campus parking lots, panic buttons along safety routes, working interior and exterior security cameras, chaperone service, campus shuttle service, lighting, access control, and the minimum level of training for campus security. Our journey began at Stellenbosch University.
From first year, we communicate with students, say that this is a partnership, and unfortunately, we need you to bring your part of the partnership too. By not taking risky activities, by equipping yourself with the information of what we offer. Panic buttons was the issue, and then it was replaced by cell phones. We're still considering other options, but students prefer to talk to us via WhatsApp. What we do is we call them back immediately. We considered and consulted with students in groups, and we found that the primary requirement was, or request was, not for static panic buttons, but for having free and easy way to communicate with us at all times.
After numerous attempts to contact UCT's head of security, Don Smith, we decided to test safety mechanisms out for ourselves. We started off with a campus walkabout and proceeded to a night drive around campus access points. It has been noted that CPS guards often don't pay attention to the student cards that students are required to show upon entry. Our plan was to use various random cards to test out security's attentiveness. To our surprise, there was zero security present at this time. We then moved on to UWC. Located in Bellville, the institution houses over 20,000 students. As one of Cape Town's renowned institutions, we spoke to the university's liaison officer, Clint Prince, to find out more about campus safety.
On most weekends, most of the crime is committed due to alcohol abuse. We find theft of items, we find assaults, we find a lot of other matters that is associated with the alcohol, with the change in altering in behavior. There is a percentage, however, of crime that comes from the outside, but not so much to a large extent possibly affecting the student, but likely affecting the institution at large. So part of our safety mechanisms is our awarenesses with students. We try and engage our students often. We have residential programs which we engage our students. We've got private accommodations, which is our COVAX, and they take a different form and shape. They kind of manage it on their own. In every housecom, they've got a portfolio called Gender and Safety Portfolio. So my duty is to work very closely with them, try and understand what challenges they have in relation to crime and how we can mitigate that crime with their assistance. So it's like what the police is trying with their community policing engagements. From our point of view, we try and make them understand that we're one family, and as a UWC family, we don't tolerate crime in any way or form.
A notable academic institution, CPUT was contacted with regards to the safety mechanisms it offers to students. Etienne Simon, the head of security, explains to us how he manages student safety on CPUT's 5 remote campuses around Cape Town.
Yes, 544, but remember we have 5 campuses across CPUT. We have Wellington, District 6. The Cape Town campus was recently on the 14th of March this year, renamed to the District 6 campus. So if we divided it total, we will have 55 at Wellington, 85 at Mowbray, 195 at Bellville, and 185 Cape Town, and Grindley Bay is about 30.
Student Safety SA reached out to American exchange student Brianna Trujillo, who spent a semester studying at UCT. When asked about her experience on safety at the institution compared to that at the University of Southern California, she had this to say.
During my semester at UCT, I found myself worrying about different things. While in Los Angeles, I often risked walking alone at night, I never tried it in Cape Town. I did walk by myself a few times during the day between Mowbray and Rondebosch until I heard a student had been kidnapped making that same walk in the early evening. It was mostly my fear of sexual assault or armed robbery that kept me walking with friends, taking the jammy back to my residence at Forest Hill, or calling Ubers. For the most part, I felt safe at UCT. But the university didn't have as many safety features as I was used to back home. The blue light system, which several universities in the States also use, had never quite convinced me. They seemed too slow in their alerts to save someone being pursued. All in all, I'm not sure how I could decide if one university is safer than another. In general, perhaps I'd say that at USC, safety is not something I have to think about constantly, whereas at UCT I was encouraged to always keep my eyes open and stay aware of my surroundings. You can get away with being oblivious at USC, but I'm not sure the same can be said for UCT.